The Monday bell rang sharp and shrill, echoing down the halls of Meadowbrook High School. Students shuffled through lockers, laughter and chatter filling the air. In the middle of it all, 16-year-old Daniel Reyes walked briskly toward his first class. He was an unassuming kid, quiet, average grades, always the one to hold the door open for teachers and carry heavy textbooks for classmates. Daniel wasn't a troublemaker. If anything, he was invisible. But that morning, he made a decision that would flip his small-town school upside down. It wasn't drugs. It wasn't a fight. It was prayer. During lunch, while others joked and swapped fries, Daniel found a quiet corner of the cafeteria. He pulled out a small, worn Bible from his backpack, bowed his head, and whispered a short prayer. He wasn't dramatic. No standing on tables, no preaching. Just a boy muttering words of faith before eating his sandwich. Unfortunately, Principal Marjorie Clark noticed. Clark, a sharp, no-nonsense woman known for her zero-tolerance approach to discipline, spotted Daniel from across the room. Her eyes narrowed. She marched over, heels clacking against the linoleum. "Daniel Reyes," she barked. "What do you think you're doing?" Daniel looked up, startled. "Just praying before I eat, ma'am." Her lips tightened. "We've talked about this. School policy prohibits any form of public religious display. You're disrupting the environment." "But I wasn't bothering anyone." "Enough. You're suspended for 3 days. Effective immediately." The entire cafeteria went silent. Forks froze midair. A few kids whispered, "Seriously?" while others exchanged confused looks. Daniel's cheeks burned as he packed his bag. Suspended. For praying. By the time Daniel's mother picked him up, word had already spread. A parent who overheard the commotion posted about it on Facebook. "Kid at Meadowbrook suspended for saying a prayer before lunch. Is this even legal?" Within hours, the post exploded. Comments flooded in. Some defended the principal. Rules are rules. Others were outraged. This is America. Freedom of religion. That night, local news stations showed up outside the Reyes' modest 2-story home. Cameras flashed. Microphones waved in Daniel's face. "Daniel, were you really suspended for praying?" "Yes," he said softly. "I wasn't forcing anyone to join me. I just prayed for myself." The clip went viral. National debates erupted. But what no one expected was who showed up at Meadowbrook the next morning. Tuesday morning, Principal Clark strutted into her office, proud of her decision. She believed rules must be enforced, no matter how small the infraction. Discipline kept order. But when she looked out her office window, she froze. 2 black SUVs pulled into the school parking lot. Agents in dark suits stepped out. Their jackets bore the unmistakable gold letters. FBI. The secretary's phone rang moments later. She picked up, stammered, and looked at Clark. They want to see you." Minutes later, Principal Clark sat stiffly behind her desk as 3 agents entered. The tallest of them, Agent James Holloway, flipped open a badge. "Principal Clark, we're here on official business. We have a federal warrant." Clark blinked. "For what?" "For Daniel Reyes' suspension. We need access to all documents, emails, and communications regarding disciplinary actions taken against him." Clark's jaw dropped. "You've got to be kidding me. This is a school matter, not a federal one." Holloway's gaze was stone cold. It became federal the moment a student's constitutional rights were violated. Freedom of religion. First Amendment. "You've made this a federal issue." Clark stammered. But, it's school policy." "School policy doesn't override the Constitution." Holloway cut in. The secretary, peeking from the doorway, nearly fainted. Word spread fast. Students pressed against classroom windows, whispering, "The FBI's here. They're talking to the principal." Inside the office, the agents asked pointed questions. Did Daniel disrupt class?
No.
Did he force others to pray?
No.
Did any student or teacher complain?
No.
Then explain why you suspended him. Clark fumbled with her words. Because rules must be applied equally. If one child prays, Another might bring in a Bible study group, and then Agent Holloway leaned forward. And then what? Kids exercising their rights? That's not chaos. That's freedom. The principal's confidence cracked. She shifted uncomfortably. We'll be seizing emails and documentation, Holloway said flatly. Expect further investigation. This isn't over. When the agents walked out with boxes of files, students erupted in whispers. Some cheered. Others just stared. But one thing was certain. The school would never be the same again. That afternoon, Daniel sat quietly at home with his mother, watching the coverage on TV. Reporters camped outside their lawn. Cameras replayed clips of FBI agents hauling files out of the school. Daniel's mom put a hand on his shoulder. I'm sorry you're in the middle of this, honey. He shrugged, though his voice cracked. I didn't mean for it to get this big. I just wanted to thank God before eating. You didn't do anything wrong, she reassured him. But Daniel felt the weight of the world. Kids at school might see him as a hero now, but he never asked to be one. By Wednesday, the story hit national headlines. High school students suspended for praying. FBI investigates. Civil rights attorneys offered to represent Daniel pro bono. Religious liberty organizations rallied behind him. Talk shows debated. Was the principal right to enforce policy, or had she crossed a line? The school board held an emergency meeting. Parents flooded the auditorium, some furious, others embarrassed. One father shouted, "My kid can't even say grace before a meal now? What country is this?" Another parent countered, "Rules exist for a reason. What if someone wanted to pray to something offensive? Do we allow that too?" The board members sat sweating under the heat of cameras and angry voices. Meanwhile, Principal Clark avoided the media. She drove to school with sunglasses on, sneaking through side entrances. But the pressure mounted. Teachers whispered behind her back. Students mocked her with chants of, "Don't pray or you'll get the FBI called on you." A week later, Agent Holloway returned with more findings. Standing before the school board and local press, he announced, "Our investigation has revealed that Principal Clark knowingly violated a student's constitutional rights. Furthermore, internal emails suggest she intended to make an example out of Daniel Reyes." Gasps filled the room. Clark's face went pale. Effective immediately, Holloway continued, "We are recommending disciplinary action against Principal Clark, including removal from her position." Chaos erupted. Some parents clapped. Others yelled. Clark stood abruptly, pointing a trembling finger at Daniel, who sat quietly in the front row. "This is your fault," she hissed. But Holloway turned sharply. "No, ma'am. This is your fault." He prayed. "You punished him. You escalated it into a constitutional violation." For the first time, Clark realized she wasn't in control anymore. The media painted Daniel as a symbol of faith under fire. He was invited to speak on national news shows, asked to share his story in churches, even offered book deals. But when a reporter asked him, "How do you feel about being the face of religious freedom for students across America?" Daniel paused. "I never wanted to be famous," he said slowly. "I just wanted to say a prayer. But if my suspension helps other kids not be afraid to live their faith, whatever that faith is, then maybe it was worth it." His words resonated far beyond Meadowbrook. Months later, Principal Clark resigned under pressure, citing personal reasons. The school quietly revised its policy, now allowing private expressions of faith as long as they don't disrupt instruction. Daniel returned to class. Students treated him differently now, not with mockery, but with a kind of respect. Some even asked if they could join him in prayer at lunch. Others didn't pray, but they defended his right to do so. As for Daniel, he went back to being himself, quiet, thoughtful, a little shy. But he carried something new. The knowledge that even the smallest act, like bowing your head for 30 seconds, could shake the system to its core. And he never forgot the morning when the FBI rolled up to his school in black SUVs. All because he whispered a prayer over his sandwich.